You want to know how to build an aura so powerful that men hesitate before crossing you? That women are drawn to you like iron to a magnet? That crowds bend beneath your presence without a single word spoken? You want the aura of inevitability, the kind of power that does not scream but makes others whisper your name with respect or fear. Understand this. True dominance isn't found in noise, bravado, or desperate displays. It's built in silence, in restraint, in calculated force. Machiavelli taught us, power isn't about being loved, nor is it about being feared. It's about being necessary. When your aura makes others believe they cannot afford to oppose you, you win before the game begins. In this monologue, I will teach you how to craft that aura, the aura that bends people's will toward your own. We will walk through 10 stages of transformation, each one a blade sharpening your psychological edge. By the end, you will not just know how to appear powerful, you will know how to become untouchable. Stay with me until the end. Comment below with the phrase "power flows to me." Let's begin. Number 1, the foundation of aura. Power begins where certainty lives. The first step to building an aura that bends others to your will is the unshakable conviction in your own mind. If you hesitate, the world devours you. If you doubt, your aura fractures. Machiavelli knew that men follow strength, even if that strength is cold and cruel. You must cultivate a presence that radiates inevitability, the sense that your path is carved in stone and nothing can move you from it. This is not arrogance. It is deliberate construction. Every look you give, every word you speak, every silence you hold must carry weight. You must learn to withhold reactions to starve others of emotional control over you. This discipline forges the foundation of your aura. Weak men chatter to prove themselves. Powerful men conserve their words like a king, spending gold rarely and with crushing impact. Begin training yourself to see every interaction as a chessboard. People reveal their weaknesses by over-explaining, by filling silence. You, however, will stand still watching, listening, calculating. The less you reveal, the more they project, and the more they fear what you might be capable of. That fear is the seed of control. If you want to start embodying this today, comment below. My silence commands respect. Number 2, the mask of controlled power. Your aura is not what you truly are. It is what you allow the world to see. Machiavelli taught that men judge more by appearances than by reality, and this truth is your weapon. Understand? Raw emotion, uncontrolled impulses, outbursts of rage, or floods of excitement. These are weaknesses that crack the mask. Your face must be a fortress, your voice a calculated instrument, your eyes the windows of dominance. When people cannot read you, they cannot predict you. When they cannot predict you, they cannot control you. This is controlled power, the art of mastering yourself so thoroughly that others feel small in your presence. Cultivate an expression of quiet authority, a stillness that unsettles the frantic energy of lesser men. Number 3, the calculated use of fear. Power without fear is fragile. Respect alone cannot hold men in line. Machiavelli wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved. And though many modern men recoil from this truth, you must embrace it if you want to bend wills. Fear does not mean brutality or reckless cruelty. It means control of perception. It means crafting an edge so sharp that others instinctively avoid cutting themselves against it. The man who inspires fear does not need to shout, threaten, or beg. His presence alone carries consequences. Fear is born when people realize that crossing you leads to loss, humiliation, or exclusion from your orbit. This doesn't require violence. It requires the ability to take something away that others value, whether it is approval, opportunity, or even the illusion of your attention. Never reveal the full extent of your punishments. Keep them guessing. A mysterious man with an invisible hand is far more terrifying than a loud tyrant who shows every weapon. But balance is everything. You must temper fear with utility. Those who fear you too much will plot against you. Those who see no benefit in your shadow will abandon you. The secret is to bind fear to necessity. Be the man others rely on while simultaneously dreading the thought of losing you. That duality creates unbreakable loyalty. Understand this. Men who are loved are replaceable. Men who are feared are unforgettable. Fear is a language, and you must become fluent in it. Do not wield it wildly but surgically in silence in moments where it cuts deepest. Your aura must whisper, "Defy me and you will regret it." Let them laugh at others. They will not laugh at you. If you are ready to embody this truth, comment below. My presence breeds respect and fear. Number 4, the art of emotional detachment. To bend others to your will, you must first bend yourself into something beyond ordinary emotion. Attachment, desperation, overinvestment. These are chains that bind men and make them predictable. Machiavelli's wisdom whispers, "Never place your fortune in the hands of another." Emotional detachment is not about being lifeless. It is about being untouchable. When you are immune to flattery, rejection, betrayal, or even praise, you become the one element in the chaos of human nature that cannot be manipulated. Think about it. Most men crumble at rejection. They explode at insults. They beg for validation. And in that weakness, their power evaporates. But you, when you stand silent under insult, when you remain calm in betrayal, when you do not chase what leaves, you radiate a power that terrifies and captivates. People expect emotional reactions. When you give them none, they collapse into uncertainty. That uncertainty fuels your aura. Detachment also allows you to calculate with precision. Emotions fog the mind. Detachment clears it. It allows you to see the game for what it is and move pieces without hesitation. The man who loves without control is conquered by his own heart. The man who hates without strategy is consumed by his own rage. But the detached man, he uses both love and hate as weapons, never as prisons. This is why stoicism is not weakness. It is the furnace where steel is made. You must master the ability to watch everything burn around you and still remain steady, watching, calculating, adapting. That is the essence of Machiavellian resilience. When you detach, you gain choice. You can choose when to act, when to strike, when to retreat, and when to appear generous. Nothing owns you, and thus no one controls you. Comment below if you are ready to rise above human weakness. I am untouchable. Number 5, mastery of silence and words. Words are weapons, and silence is the sheath that gives them their deadly edge. Most men squander both, rambling without precision, filling the air with noise that betrays weakness. But the man who masters silence commands the battlefield of minds before he ever speaks. Machiavelli knew that rulers should rarely reveal their intentions, and silence is the shield that guards your strategy. When you hold your tongue, you deny others the ability to read you, predict you, or undermine you. Silence makes people uneasy. It compels them to reveal their insecurities, their weaknesses, their hidden motives while you remain the unmoving observer. In silence, you collect information. In silence, you let others expose themselves. And when you finally choose to speak, every word lands like a hammer. Every phrase etched into the minds of your listeners as if it carries divine authority. But mastery of words is just as crucial as mastery of silence. Words are not for explaining. They are for influencing. They must be precise, sharp, and deliberate. Never speak to be understood. Speak to shape perception. Learn the art of commanding language. Short, powerful statements that leave no room for doubt speak in terms of power, necessity, and inevitability. Never justify, never over-explain. Justification signals weakness, and weakness breeds contempt. Instead, make declarations, issue directives, or deliver subtle provocations that twist the mind of the listener into your frame. And when silence follows your words, let it hang heavy. Let it burn into their memory. The combination of silence and speech is like a blade and its strike. Without one, the other loses force. If you want to build an aura so potent that your presence lingers long after you leave, master this balance. Speak less, but make every syllable cut. Listen more, but reveal nothing. The aura you project will become one of mystery, dominance, and gravitas. The aura of a man who cannot be ignored. Understand this. A careless tongue ruins kings. A disciplined tongue builds empires. Silence earns respect. Words win loyalty. And both together forge fear. This is how legends are built. Not through noise, but through control of sound itself. If you are ready to command with silence and conquer with words, comment below. My silence speaks louder than king. Number 6. The weaponization of presence. Your aura is not merely an idea. It is a force that must be felt the instant you enter a room. Presence is invisible power turned tangible, and it is built through deliberate control of energy, body, and space. Understand this. Most men stumble into rooms seeking approval, hoping to be noticed. But the Machiavellian mind never hopes. It commands. Presence begins with posture. The way you hold yourself signals to others whether you lead or follow. Stand as though the ground itself belongs to you. Shoulders squared, movements measured. No wasted gestures. The weak man fidgets. The strong man flows. Next comes pace. Move slower than the rest, because haste is the child of anxiety. The man of presence sets the rhythm and others unconsciously adjust themselves to it. Then there is eye contact, perhaps the most primal tool of dominance. Do not dart. Do not chase. Hold steady. Observe calmly and let others break first. The one who looks away concedes the invisible battle. And beyond body, there is aura projection, control of voice, breathing, and even silence. When you speak, your tone must be low, firm, and deliberate, as though each word is carved into stone. When you pause, let the silence stretch, because in those moments, the weight of your presence crushes the nervous energy of everyone around you. Presence is also built through scarcity. Do not make yourself overly available. The man who is everywhere becomes invisible. The man who appears rarely but powerfully becomes unforgettable. People should feel the room shift when you arrive and feel emptiness when you leave. That is how legends are remembered through contrast. You must also cultivate an inner conviction that bleeds outward, because presence without belief is theater, and theater collapses under pressure. Believe you are the axis of the room, and the room will bend to your gravity. Presence is not something you do. It is something you are. When mastered, you won't need to demand respect. It will be given before you even open your mouth. If you are ready to forge this kind of aura, comment below. My presence is undeniable. Number 7. The science of psychological leverage. If you wish to bend people to your will, you must master leverage. The subtle chains that bind their decisions without them ever realizing they are shackled. Power is not brute force. It is the art of pulling invisible strings. Machiavelli taught us that men are driven by two forces, fear of loss and hope of gain. To control someone, you must learn which lever moves them most efficiently. Every person carries hidden desires, insecurities, and fears. And your aura becomes magnetic when it signals that you understand those hidden layers better than they do themselves. This requires observation. Listen more than you speak. Watch body language. Track patterns in behavior. Note every reaction, every word choice. Weak men ignore details. Powerful men collect them like weapons. Once you know what someone values, you own them. If they crave validation, make your approval scarce. If they fear exclusion, remind them subtly of how fragile their place is. If they hunger for opportunity, position yourself as the gatekeeper. The beauty of leverage is that it allows you to control without force, to dominate without visible effort. This is where dark psychology merges with Machiavellian realism. You do not simply respond to people. You engineer their responses, plant ideas, guide emotions, and let them believe they arrived at their choices freely when in reality you have written the script. True power is invisible orchestration, but leverage also demands discipline. Never overplay it. If people sense manipulation, they will resist. The most effective control is the one they never notice. Give them enough freedom to feel independent, but subtly direct every choice toward your desired outcome. The greatest kings and conquerors mastered this art, not by ruling with constant force, but by weaving invisible nets of influence that no one could escape. Ask yourself, what do people around you fear most? What do they desire most? Then craft your presence so that you become both the answer to their desires and the shadow of their fears. That duality makes you indispensable. And indispensability is the ultimate weapon. Remember, men can betray leaders they do not need, but they cannot betray those they depend on. If you can make yourself the silent architect of someone's survival, their growth, or their pride, You own them. This is not kindness, it is strategy. To wield leverage is to play chess on the board of human psychology, where every move is subtle but decisive. When you master it, you will no longer chase influence. Influence will chase you. If you understand this, comment below. I control the unseen strings. Number 8, the discipline of ruthless boundaries. Power is not only built on what you do, it is carved out of what you refuse to tolerate. Boundaries are the invisible walls of your empire, and without them, your aura will collapse under the weight of disrespect. Weak men accept too much, forgive too quickly, and compromise too often. And in doing so, they teach the world to walk over them. A Machiavellian mind does not allow such erosion. Ruthless boundaries are not about cruelty. They are about clarity. They declare without words that your time, energy, and presence are not cheap commodities. They are luxuries. When people sense they can cross you without consequence, they strip your aura bare. But when they realize every action has weight, every violation has cost, and every insult has consequence, your value multiplies. Boundaries are the foundation of respect, and respect is the seed of fear. Do not confuse kindness with weakness. Kindness should be a choice you grant, not a default you bleed. To enforce boundaries, you must master detachment. If someone wastes your time, you cut them off. If someone disrespects you, you withdraw your presence. If someone tries to exploit you, you make them regret the attempt. And you must never hesitate. Hesitation signals weakness, and weakness invites escalation. Enforce your lines quickly, coldly, and without apology. Your aura will become a fortress, impenetrable, admired, and feared. Yet boundaries also sharpen your influence. When you deny access, you raise demand. Scarcity breeds value. Think of kings and rulers. They are not available to everyone, and that very inaccessibility fuels their mystique. If you want an aura that bends wills, you must learn the power of the word no. Say it without anger, without guilt, without explanation. No is the purest assertion of power because it forces others to adjust themselves to you. But boundaries are not only external, they are internal. You must set boundaries with your own indulgences, your own laziness, your own emotions. If you cannot discipline yourself, the world will see through the facade and exploit your cracks. Self-control is the highest boundary, and without it all others crumble. A man who controls his appetites, his time, and his reactions radiates authority, while a man enslaved by impulses invites ridicule. Your aura must project this ruthless discipline, untouchable by others, uncorrupted by yourself. And when you embody this standard, people will either fall in line or fall away, and both outcomes serve your power. If you are ready to wield boundaries as weapons, comment below. My lines are unbreakable. Number 9. The shadow of strategic cruelty. There comes a moment when pure presence, silence, leverage, and boundaries are not enough. To truly bend people to your will, you must embrace a truth most men will never admit. Cruelty, when used with precision, is a tool of power. Machiavelli himself declared that cruelty, if well applied, can secure authority faster than misplaced mercy. The weak recoil from this truth, but the powerful understand that cruelty is not reckless brutality. It is controlled fire. It is the willingness to do what others cannot, to cross lines that paralyze the ordinary, to strike in ways that leave lasting impressions. Strategic cruelty means you do not punish constantly, but when you do, the punishment is unforgettable. It means you do not seek conflict, but when conflict is forced upon you, you end it decisively, publicly, and in a way that deters future opposition. People must learn one lesson. To cross you is to suffer consequences that outweigh the reward of betrayal. This does not require violence. It requires imagination. Silence someone's reputation. Strip them of opportunity. Withdraw support at the critical moment. Cruelty and power is not personal. It is tactical. When executed with cold calculation, cruelty establishes a precedent. It tells the world your aura is edged with steel, not velvet. Yet cruelty must be measured. Use it too often and you become a tyrant who inspires rebellion. Use it too softly and it loses its edge. The art is in timing and scale, sharp enough to scar, rare enough to haunt. Think of a predator. Does the lion attack every animal in sight? Number. It selects, stalks, and kills with precision, sending fear rippling through the herd. So must you. Strategic cruelty also extends to yourself. You must be cruel to your weaknesses, merciless with your excuses, ruthless with your own mediocrity. Destroy laziness before it destroys you. Shatter your comfort zones before they rot you from the inside. When you apply cruelty to yourself, you sharpen into a blade the world cannot dull. And when others witness this ruthless self-discipline, they realize they cannot match your resilience. That recognition bends them to your gravity. But do not confuse cruelty with chaos. Chaos weakens empires. Controlled cruelty builds them. The aura you want, the aura that bends people's will, cannot be built on kindness alone, nor on fear alone, but on the mastery of both. Mercy makes you admired. Cruelty makes you remembered. The balance makes you untouchable. So when the time comes to unleash cruelty, do it with precision, with intention, and without hesitation. Let the scars you leave on your enemies echo as warnings to anyone watching from the shadows. That is the true Machiavellian way. Power secured not by constant war, but by decisive demonstrations that make further resistance unthinkable. If you understand this and you are ready to carry the weight of such responsibility, comment below. My power is edged in steel. Number 10. The crown of untouchability. Everything we have built, the silence, the mask, the fear, the detachment, the presence, the leverage, the boundaries, and the cruelty, leads to one ultimate destination: untouchability. Untouchability is not a title you give yourself. It is a status others feel when they stand in your presence. It is the aura of inevitability, the sense that no scheme, no insult, no betrayal can pierce you. To be untouchable is to operate above the games of ordinary men, to bend their will while never appearing to exert effort. This crown is forged in discipline and worn in silence. The untouchable man does not seek validation. He generates it. He does not chase opportunities. He creates them. He does not beg for loyalty. He demands it through the weight of his aura. Machiavelli wrote that fortune favors the bold, but boldness without strategy is suicide. True boldness is controlled risk, executed with precision, supported by layers of preparation. The untouchable man never moves recklessly. Every step is calculated. Every silence is a trap. Every smile a mask. Every gesture a signal. And because he is consistent, others come to believe he cannot be broken. That belief is his shield. Understand this. Power is never permanent. History shows us that every king, every empire, every titan eventually falls. But while you stand, your aura can make you seem eternal. People will bend to you not because they must, but because they cannot imagine a world without your shadow over them. That is the highest form of dominance. Not loud, not chaotic, but inevitable. To become untouchable, you must fuse all the principles together into a single being. Your silence must command attention. Your mask must conceal your strategy. Your fear must be sharp but measured. Your detachment must keep you cold when others burn. Your presence must alter the air itself. Your leverage must turn men into unwitting pawns. Your boundaries must be walls they dare not climb. Your cruelty must be precise, haunting, unforgettable. And in the end, when you weave all of this together, your aura will be so powerful that people surrender. Not because you force them, but because resisting you feels impossible. This is the crown of untouchability. It cannot be bought. It cannot be faked. It cannot be stolen. It can only be built through ruthless discipline, Machiavellian cunning, and a relentless will. You now know the path. The only question left is whether you will walk it. If you are ready to step into this power, comment below one last time. I am untouchable. And remember, if this monologue sharpened your mind, if it fed your hunger for power, then do not hesitate.